of loss and specifically focuses on herbivore loss. Now here they are using the term herbivore, but mainly it is the wildlife herbivores, the large herbivores. The average compensation per farmer calculated for all the 3 crop seasons contrasted with the amounts actually paid by the government to the farmer. So as I mentioned, they mentioned the actual figure which was less than 4,000, but the damages were many times higher. So in conclusion, conservation needs to adapt to changing climate and realize the projected increase of anthropogenic pressure on the environment. Implementing such schemes will be more realistic to achieve the conservation goals. Again, the point being, conservation is required not just for national parks or sanctuaries or the untouched pristine areas, but also human settlements or disturbed landscapes where wildlife is expected to forage in. They are likely to survive on our resources, from our garbage, from our waste. So we need to start designing or implementing, strategizing new conservation methods for human settlements. Yeah, that's it.
We have compiled all these data from different people, public or forest department, incidentally. But it is good. Whatever you have mentioned about the complete of the good and the human, that is okay. But what about your contribution of your team?
Now, to be honest, this is an inspiration for us, and we are in touch with the authors about using this calculation or this mathematical model for the crop species or the damages that are often experienced. Now, to give the first-hand experience, when I commute to my workplace, there is a road construction work that's going on, and they are actually blasting the whole mountain to create a route over there, and a lot of vegetation has been cut down. So that made us observe there were a lot of road kills around of wildlife. We saw dead civet cats, dead mongooses, and various other furry animals which I couldn't identify because of the severe damage. Now, those animals were being displaced because of the construction work, and they were being displaced as Kalavatha madam, she is from the region, so this is an extensive agricultural region. They are being displaced from the forested area into the agricultural fields, and during this displacement, they are being we could observe them because of the road kills, and very soon. Not as yet, but very soon, this compensation demands are going to be coming in from the farmers towards the government. So we are planning to make use of this compensation model to work out some mitigation against.
Are you going into the field to collect the data?
We haven't yet initiated, but that's what the plan is. Because
presentation partly assembly.
The model was theoretical, but it was ground truth. They did verify the model with ground data.
No, is there any existing scheme for compensation from government? Is existing there?
Based on this model?
No. Is already existing any scheme there?
Yes, yes. The government.
So what is the difference between the government scheme, existing scheme, and you propose?
Sure.
It should actually, see, this is very complex system, because it is very difficult. Even if we are working in government or any service, we are never satisfied. Don't think of only farmers and all. Even none of us is actually happy with what we get.
Correct.
So I don't think any formula or any scheme we implement will be universally accepted.
Agreed. What is proposed over here is the current method of compensation is very rudimentary. All the drawbacks of the current method of compensation.
Have you studied the existing government scheme based on what? What are the loopholes in their scheme, and what are the actually the things which you can your formula can mitigate that?
Sure, I can come up with, I can point it out in this slide here. Yeah. most of these assessments are biased.
See, this is all human. Every one of us know what is what.
This is the current government scheme that
This
is
is
followed.
okay. I mean, this is all. Nobody can on earth actually circumvent these all situations. Nobody, not you, me, none of us. So, keeping in view everything existing in Indian conditions, we are not in America or some other developed country. So, you must have heard some cases like actually farmers or the villagers, they are asking for compensation for snake bite and scorpion bite.
Correct.
This is actually reality. So that also you have to keep it in mind.
Exactly. So again, I didn't go through the models over here. Now, the way this calculation is done, the formula that I showed, there is a chance that a group might start working, playing the system. They might to manipulate. However, the way the calculations are done over here is, let's say, average percent is reporting, average percent of underreporting. Let's say the control farms, they underreported in order to, so that the other farmers who were unfenced, they might start getting more money. However, when you put it into the calculation, the more they underreport, the more the one who is reporting honestly, his yield, his compensation starts increasing exponentially. So the way the calculation is done, it rewards the honesty and it discourages.
There can be a cap also. You see, over-reporting can be checked through the records of the seed
Exactly.
breeders.
Previous years and the
Even the seed suppliers, they have the system that how maximum yield you can get with this seed.
correct. The
There
data
is
can
an
be,
upper limit also.
yes, from supplementary sources that information can be verified. Yes, true. Correct. So another benefit of this, again, the drawback or the missing thing in the current thing is, it requires extensive assessment, manual assessment. Now in this case, the assessment will need to be done only for the control farms, the fenced farms, because that will give us the maximum, the upper limit of the calculation that will be required. And the other damages, again, since we are forming a group, there will be a check by each other. You know, if one of the individual is trying to overrate or over-report or under-report, he is very likely to be pointed out or called out by the others in that group. Because again, you know, I didn't mention the other part of it.
At any cost, there can never be a fair compensation in two sense.
Exactly. It will be a what do I say?
Okay, fine, chalta hai. This step.
It will be a little improvement compared to the current system.
Yes.
Compared to the current system. We may not meet the golden point, but
Because here actually the scientific data sometimes cannot help you because of the mob mentality.
yes.
So, I mean, government also can be carried away with this mob mentality.
Yes, because
Local
conservation,
conditions,
politics is a big part of conservation. That's true. That's true.
So anyways, I mean, fair compensation, invited, comma.
Yes. And the point being, the conservation strategies for disturbed habitats or mixed use habitats, where human settlement is very common.
Good idea. No doubt about it.
As well, I have one question. So, in the very first slides, you told about the shifting of the animals from diamond to nocturnal behavior. So, how is there any statistical data in India and how it affect the diversity of particular species?
There is
Some
some.
big question mark here. I mean,
Yes.
maybe you can give us the examples of your own study. Because herbivores shifting for foraging in the early night, evening hours somehow. It's a little bit illogical.
Is there any data, statistical data?
About animals shifting their.
Especially herbivores.
Yes, actually, this paper. True. They are not shifting spatially. They are shifting temporally. Their foraging places is the same, but in order to avoid the human habitat, now again, if we recall, during Corona years, when there was lockdown, human activities were minimized, and lot of rare animal sightings were.
You could listen to the bird chirping also.
True. Now that was the reversal. That was the dampening down of this shit that was also. So they were always existing there, but because of our noise and because of loud humans, they had retreated. But since the human activity is
Actually, human is a major culprit for anything happening around. So, I mean, blaming ourselves won't serve the purpose.
true, but there is a statistical data about this, and mainly this is affecting large herbivores compared to small and medium, because small and medium are used still to hide and escape. So this shift is largely being observed with large herbivores and large carnivores, but small and medium animals are not being affected.
See, I can quote one example. I also come from a village side and all. So there is a species, we call it Zana Gai, Marathi Malay. They are all wild cattle. In that particular cattle, it has been observed long time back also that they actually regulate the activity fits in the evening hours.
Okay.
They are not active during